Martin Emerson Jr. is at the center of a massive storm brewing in the 216 right now, and believe me, Browns fans, this one is gonna hurt. One of the most important pieces of our secondary was hiding a serious reality during the season, and now General Manager Andrew Berry just dropped a bombshell that changes everything we thought we knew about this defense. If you want to stay ahead of every major roster move and hear the truth about the Dawg Pound first, hit that subscribe button right now. We are breaking down some truly concerning updates today. Martin Emerson Jr. is officially facing a crossroads that nobody in Cleveland wanted to see coming this early in the game. Our general manager, Andrew Berry, just sat down for an update that has sent shockwaves through the entire building, and it honestly feels like the rug is being pulled out from under us. When we talk about shutdown potential, this kid has been the guy we all pointed to as the future of the secondary. But Berry's latest words were anything but reassuring. The GM gave a worrying update regarding the impending free agency of the standout cornerback, and for the first time, the future of this playmaker with the team seems completely uncertain. There was no firm commitment, no talk of a long-term lockup, and honestly, the vibe inside the facility suggests that the front office might be preparing for a life without him. It's the kind of move casual fans don't understand but wins or loses championships depending on how you pivot. This kid has been a cornerstone for our defensive scheme, providing that length and physicality that Jim Schwartz craves. But if the money or the vision doesn't align, Andrew Berry isn't afraid to make a cold-blooded business decision. And here is the scary part. Berry didn't just say they were talking. He used language that suggested a massive gap exists between what the player wants and what the Browns are willing to offer. This isn't just a routine negotiation anymore. It's a full-blown situation that could leave a massive hole in our defensive backfield. Now think about this. If we lose that kind of talent, the entire philosophy of our man-to-man coverage has to shift. The uncertainty is deafening right now, and the local buzz is getting louder by the second. People in Cleveland know that once Berry starts talking like this, the writing is usually on the wall. It's a drastic change in tone from just a few months ago when we thought he was a foundational piece. We have seen this movie before in the NFL, where a rising star and the front office hit a wall, and usually it ends with a jersey change that breaks the hearts of the Dawg Pound. But what the Browns are planning to do next to fill that potential void is where things get really interesting for this defense. If you think Martin Emerson Jr. is a must-sign player for this defense to stay elite, smash that like button right now and tell me in the comments what you would pay to keep him in Cleveland. 5 defensive prospects are now the primary focus for the Cleveland Browns as the front office realizes that the defensive unit needs an immediate infusion of young talent to stay competitive in the AFC North. Following the news about the secondary uncertainty, Andrew Berry has been spotted keeping a very close eye on specific draft targets that could redefine our identity in the trenches and the back end. There are 5 defensive promises from the NFL draft that the Cleveland Browns should monitor closely according to internal scouts and draft analysts. These prospects are considered potential reinforcements for the defensive unit that could either play alongside our stars or eventually replace those who might be walking out the door. This is how dynasties are built in the NFL. You don't just react to losses, you anticipate them by bringing in high motor, high IQ players who fit the scheme perfectly. The names circulating around the facility right now aren't just generic picks. They are players with that North Coast grit who can step in on day one. We are talking about edge rushers with elite bend and safeties who can play the hybrid role that is becoming so vital in today's league. Inside the building, the talk is all about finding players who don't just have the physical traits, but the psychological makeup to handle the pressure of playing in Cleveland. These 5 prospects represent the potential salvation for a unit that could be facing a major identity crisis if the current veteran stars don't stay put. It is a strategic move that the front office is prioritizing because they know the window for a Super Bowl is wide open. But it can close fast if the depth isn't there. Each one of these prospects has been vetted for their ability to thrive in a high-pressure environment, and the Browns are doing their due diligence to ensure they don't miss on a game-changer. These kids are the answer to the questions being asked about our aging roster and the looming free agency departures. Monitoring these 5 targets isn't just a suggestion. It's a necessity for Berry if he wants to keep this window open. But while we are looking at the future of the rookies, a statement about our biggest star just turned the entire city upside down. Which defensive position do you think is the biggest priority in the draft? Drop a comment below and let's debate the best moves for our Browns. Myles Garrett is the heart and soul of Cleveland. But a recent statement from owner Jimmy Haslam has left the entire Browns fan base feeling incredibly apprehensive about what's going on behind closed doors. You would think the situation with our franchise cornerstone would be rock solid, but Haslam's recent comments have raised serious doubts about the current status of the team's biggest star. When the owner starts speaking in ways that aren't 100% committed to the long-term trajectory or hints at shifting dynamics, it sends a chill down the spine of every fan in the Dawg Pound. This statement wasn't your typical PR fluff. It contained nuances that have insiders wondering if there is a rift or a major change in philosophy regarding how the team is built around its elite pass rusher. The comment raises doubts about the Stars' situation, and in this league, doubt is the first step toward a franchise-altering move. We are talking about a generational talent, a guy who is the face of the franchise, yet the words coming from the very top aren't providing the security we all expect. It feels like something is brewing beneath the surface that we aren't being told. Is it a contract issue? Is it a direction of the team issue? Whatever it is, Jimmy Haslam just opened a door that many of us wish stayed shut. Now think about the impact this has on the locker room. When the guys see that even a legend like that isn't immune to public questioning or uncertainty from the owner, it changes the energy in the building. This is the kind of move that can destabilize a season before it even begins. We need our leader to be untouchable, but right now, the owner's words have made him look vulnerable to the whims of the front office's new direction. This isn't just local gossip. This is a situation that could redefine the Cleveland Browns for the next decade. The anxiety in the city is palpable because we know that without that dominance on the edge, this defense loses its teeth. If there is even a 1% chance that his future is being debated, we are looking at a completely different team. But wait until you see how this all connects to the broader strategy Barry is implementing right now. When you connect the dots between Andrew Barry's hesitation on Martin Emerson Jr., the intense focus on 5 new defensive draft prospects, and the cryptic, unsettling comments from Jimmy Haslam about Myles Garrett, a very specific and somewhat scary picture starts to emerge for the Cleveland Browns. We are witnessing a potential total defensive overhaul that the front office is trying to mask as roster evolution. The reality is that the Browns are at a tipping point where the financial weight of their current stars is clashing with the need for sustainable winning. Barry is notoriously calculated, and his lack of a firm stance on Emerson suggests that the team is unwilling to overpay for a secondary piece when they believe they can find a replacement in the draft. However, the real concern is the friction at the top. Haslam's comments about Garrett aren't just random. They signify a shift in how the organization views its untouchable assets. If the Browns are truly considering a future where even their most elite players are subject to the cold reality of the salary cap or a new defensive philosophy, then the culture of the Dawg Pound is about to go through its most significant test since the return in '99. This is the kind of move casual fans don't understand, but it's how you either build a sustainable powerhouse or crumble into a rebuild. The front office is betting on their ability to scout new talent to replace the soul of the defense. The Cleveland Browns are standing on the edge of a massive transformation that could either lead us to the promised land or send us back to the drawing board. From the uncertain future of Martin Emerson Jr. to the shocking comments regarding Myles Garrett, it's clear that the status quo is no longer an option in Andrew Barry's eyes. This is not just another draft season or a simple free agency period. This is a defining moment for the entire franchise. If the Browns hit on these 5 defensive prospects, they might just survive the loss of veteran leadership, but if they miss, the fallout from alienating stars like Garrett will be felt for years. We are watching the blueprint of a new era being drawn in real time, and it's a high-stakes gamble that requires nerves of steel from the fans. This is not just another draft prospect or a simple contract dispute. This could be the end of the defense as we know it and the start of something completely different. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next update on this developing story. This is the Dawg Pound, and things are getting wild.